Scorpio, what it do? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a reading for the week of March 10th through the 16th. Thank you for joining me. We will pull some overarching energy, which I will clarify at the end and read out of the guidebook. We will also pull some advice for you at the end as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. You are not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Wow. This is an interesting time to pull that card, but you are not alone, Scorpio. So whatever you're doing right now to connect to your community, I would do more of that. You know, obviously be careful with what's going on. If you're like me and you live alone, there are definite things that you can do. You know, social distance walks, working out with friends, you know, there are, you know, things seem to be opening back up in a slight way, just depending on where you're at. So even if just a phone call, a FaceTime, things like that, this is a really important time for you, Scorpio, to not be alone. Speaking of being alone, you have the Four of Swords showing up underneath the deck. So you may be resting. This may be a self-isolation thing. You may feel like you need to heal something here. We will get a little bit of clarity on that as we get through the spread. But even in terms of healing, if you can seek a community that of like-minded people who are sort of healing from the same thing, be careful with the whole misery loves company perspective, because that's definitely a possibility depending on the community that you seek. But if you can find people that that are kind of going through the same thing as you, you don't have to heal in isolation. Okay, you're showing up as the Two of Wands here, so you may be making some plans, setting up some long-range goals here. This person is really sort of setting out and figuring out what kind of journey that they want to go on. This could be you picking and choosing how you're going to heal, what sort of resources that you have in front of you. But that feels like a very good energy for you here. The Six of Pentacles is showing up as the situation. So for some reason, you know, with that Four of Swords there, this resting, I feel like you may have been giving too much to a situation in the recent past. You may have one or more people sort of taking your energy, and it may not be intentional on that person's part, is the message that I'm getting, or those people's parts. Sometimes we give so much to situations because we unintentionally expect things in return. So I don't know why that message came out, but that is the message that I'm getting for you right now. The opportunity here is the King of Cups. So there's an opportunity for a bit of emotional intelligence and emotional maturity to show up for you. You could be dealing with a water sign. So that, I mean, I feel like this is you, Scorpio, but you could also be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer, or another Scorpio. But I do see like there's an opportunity here for someone or something to mature in an emotional way. The universe is working on teaching somebody something. So this could be a message that's coming in for you or for somebody else that you're delivering to somebody else, is a possibility as well. But some sort of message that says, you know, in order to play where I'm playing, or in order to grow emotionally, these are the things that you have to learn about the way to show up in the 3D, on the physical. This could also be literally just like, you know, the Page of Pentacles can mean like earth magic. And this can be any number of things, like reading a book, you know, giving somebody a book suggestion that they actually pick up and like do the work is the energy that I'm getting here. The universe is working on this. So something may be coming in for you, or you may be offering something for somebody else here pretty soon. What you don't see is this Nine of Wands energy. There's a level of defensiveness here and a feeling of wanting to give up is what I'm getting. This is very unconscious right now. So underneath the surface, there's this feeling of like wanting to give up, being very defensive. So this could be you, or this could be somebody else. But the message here is to keep going. The Nine of Wands is right before the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands speaks to almost the same energy, where it's just like dropping the burdens. But you want to get to the finish line before you drop any of those burdens that show up there for you. In the near future, we have the Three of Pentacles, so probably some bit of collaboration, communication coming in for you. Also, maybe a chance to show off your talents in a very real way, to share some things with the world. And again, this is the Three of Pentacles is a community card. So the interesting thing about community, whatever you're resting and recovering from or healing from, I think is going to give you an opportunity to share something really valuable with the people around you and in your inner circle. So I would continue to search for that community, for a place where you can have some sort of physical connection and move yourself out of isolation here. In the recent past, we have the King of Swords. So you may, for some reason, I'm getting the sense that somebody, this could be an air sign, Aries, or Libra, Aquarius, Gemini in your life, or this could be you or anyone. It doesn't have to be a sign, but I get the energy of somebody being just like very decisive about a situation. Somebody may have cut you off or something like that, Scorpio. Ended something kind of very abruptly, or told some truth that you didn't want to hear is the message I'm getting. I feel like that's why this defensiveness is showing up and why this need for rest and recovery is coming. I feel like this happened for a reason though. And this reason was to help you to move to a new level emotionally. Yeah, this defensive energy, I would maybe write some things down so that you can reference and go back to this time in a couple weeks. There's definitely something unconscious going on. So the only way to really expose anything that's unconscious is to really come into the present and feel where you're at. Or if you fall into a period of, I feel like you're over this, whatever it was. But if you fall into a period of heartbreak again, or you find yourself angry or upset or irritable or discontent or something like that, then that's a really good moment to not try to change it, but to sit in it and figure out what it is. Because I do get the sense that this is very unconscious at the moment. Which just means that you're not 100% aware of that, of what's going on there underneath the surface. You're showing up in this situation as the Queen of Pentacles. So whatever happened, I think it's sort of, again, I feel like this, I mean, everything is ultimately for the good, but I feel like it's forcing you not only to take control of your emotional intelligence, your emotional maturity, but to also realize like what all that you have, in terms of your physical, right? So like your home, your apartment, your money, I feel like things are probably going pretty well for you. If they're not, then it is headed that way. But I get the sense that you're showing up in this situation as the one that has a lot to offer, which can be a tricky energy, right? The Queen of Pentacles wants to be very nurturing. They want it. The Queen of Pentacles wants to give. It's the Earth Mother, right? But just because you have it doesn't mean you need to give it. And I feel like that's a lesson that this situation is teaching you, where sometimes our emotions can allow us to overgive to a situation. And it's unintentional, but emotional, sometimes it can come, and again, this is very unintentional, so don't take this wrong, but it can come with some bit of manipulation, right? Because when we give to situations in a very emotional way, and then we expect things return, that expectation is the fallacy in the situation. What's right in front of you is the Queen of Wands. So I feel like whatever this situation is teaching you to really stand up for yourself, to have confidence in yourself, and to get the things that you want, to be very creative, to be very assertive. You may not have been assertive in this situation. You may have been very giving and not been like, well, if I give this, this is, you know, these are my expectations around this giving energy. Or, yeah. Hopes and fears have to do with the Tower here for you, Scorpio. So there's going to be some sudden realization that comes in. And it may be pretty shocking. For some reason, with this hope and with this Queen of Wands energy, I'm getting very... you're hoping to shatter somebody's belief system. Like, I feel like you're hoping that you're going to change somebody by revealing some truth, or by really taking a bunch of time to yourself, maybe cutting somebody out, something like that. Be careful with that energy of trying to shatter somebody else's worldview. It may happen, it may not, but where are you left if the thing doesn't happen that you were expecting to change somebody else's worldview with? And the outcome, I see the Two of Pentacles energy here. So there's this situation where you are kind of juggling. You're gonna have to make a decision. This is juggling a lot of responsibilities, and really kind of being worn out by that situation. There's a lot of pentacles in your reading, which tells me that this situation probably has a lot to do with money, and perhaps the way it is being used to make you feel not alone. This could be your storyline. If it's not, then I will see you next week. This may be a very specific storyline for somebody, but let's read this You Are Not Alone card. Isolation, physical connection, community. The older the soul, the deeper the cave. Many starseeds and old souls enjoy their own company. Spending time alone can be comforting and necessary for their vitality, as it allows them to commune with their soul and fill up their energetic resources, especially if they have an underactive or open root chakra or find it hard being human. Many starseeds find it more nourishing to retreat than to spend time in meaningless conversations and relationships. However, we must remember that we're not here to go about this life alone. Humans are pack animals, and we all need the love, company, and support of others, both emotionally and physically. In our increasingly online world, we can be connected to more people and yet feel more alone and isolated than ever. There's still so much we don't know about the energetic side effects of things like social media, with so many people knowing our news. What is it doing to our auric field? Commonly, we find ourselves in constant conversation, yet lacking the genuine connection of physical community and touch. The main message of this card is to step out of your cave and physically reach out to those in your life, to replenish when you need to, but not isolate yourself. This could be seeing friends and family who live nearby, or having a regular catch-up walk with someone. In what ways can you open yourself up to the people who are physically in your life? Those you truly know. So that is the message that I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me. Oh, wait, no, we're not done. We have some advice for you. Look at that. If you choose to center and not participate in the extremes, you will come to know the Tao. The extremes here can be either being alone or being in community. It's like very either or in this situation. And when I see this like defensive energy and I see this rest and recover, it's one of those like, well, I'm not going to engage in those type of situations anymore because they just burn me out. That is a very black and white statement. So it's important to sort of go the center way here. That situation burned me out last week. This week, I don't want to go into anything that feels similar. And next week, I will decide how I feel, right? So that is the message that I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.